Assalamu alaikum students, this is Farwa Batool, your O-level computer science instructor, and welcome to another video. So we have seen the 4 different types of validation checks, and in this video I will be talking about the 5th and the last type that is discussed in your book. That is the format check, and along with that I will tell you about check digits shortly. Okay, let's quickly move towards the definition of a format check. Okay, format check is also one of the type of validation check in which you have to define a format for your input data that the user has to enter. Let's suppose a user comes to use a computer system, and in the computer system he has to enter some code. But that code has a specific format. Let's talk about that for that particular code that he will enter, the first 3 letters would be, let's suppose, A, and the other 3 letters are, I'll explain you this, 999. So it means that the user has to enter the code in such a way in which the first 3 characters must be letters. It can be other than A, but the thing is that it must be any alphabet, the first 3 characters. And the other 3 characters must be numbers. So this is a format that the user has to follow in order to add a code. So there are total 6 characters in which the first 3 must be letters and the other 3 must be numbers. So in this way, we specify a particular format for the user to enter the data. Whenever you see that you have to enter the data in a specific format, definitely there is a format check behind. Okay, let's take another example. We know that in some systems we enter date, but there is a specific format to enter the date. In some cases, it is mentioned that in the first box you have to provide the day, and then in the second provide the month, and then in the last provide the year. So in this way you will be entering your date. So it is already been specified that how you have to enter the date in a given space. It must be like this: day, then put a dash, then month, then put a dash, then year. This specific format says that the user has to enter, let's suppose, date of birth. So the first one would be the day, 27. Let's enter my date of birth. The month would be May 05 and the year would be 1995. So in this way you have to enter your date. So it's a specific format that you must have to follow while entering your date of birth. So this is how a format check is. If you will not follow the particular format, then it will give you an error message or it will ask you to enter the data again. Let's talk about an example in your book related to the format check. Okay, let's suppose there is a data entry or a data field of cub number in which the user has to enter the cub number. But this data must have a specific format. What is that? The first 3 characters must be CUB and the other 3 characters would be 9999. So in total, a cub number will be a 7 characters in length. In total, it's 7 characters where the first 3 characters are letters C, U, B. And the next 4 characters must be digits within the range of 0 till 9. So let's suppose the user enters a cub number CUA 1143. So here he did a mistake. What is the mistake? Look at this. Instead of writing B, he has written A. So that's why it will be considered as invalid cub number. Because according to the format provided to the user, it must be CUB in the starting. So the user must receive a message that please enter a valid cub number. Okay, let's suppose for the next turn, he enters CUB 12A4. So again, it will be considered as an invalid cub number. Why? Because according to the format provided, the next four digits, the last four digits here must be, or the last four characters must be digits. Whereas we can see that the second last character I have entered is a letter. So it will be considered as invalid cub number. So user in this case again will receive an error message and will ask to enter the cub number again. So next this user is going to enter cub 1437. Now this will be considered as a valid cub number. Why? Because now it is following the particular format or the pattern that is provided. The first three characters must be CUB letters and the other four characters must be digits within the range of 0 to 9. So now this is a valid entry. So we will be proceeding. Okay, this is all about your format check. Now, there is no pseudocode available for it, so we will not look at the code, how we can implement format check. The next thing in this video is the check digit. Let me explain you the check digit. Okay, basically a check digit is the final or the last digit in a code. It can be a barcode, it can be a standard book number, it can be vehicle identification numbers where you use check digits. But in any of the code, the last or the final digit is the check digit. And why we use it? We use it to identify the error in the code or the mistyping or the misscanning of a barcode. Let's talk about this in detail. Okay, so here I have told you that a check digit is basically a final digit in your code. Let's consider there is a system in which the user enters ISBN number. ISBN number is basically the International Standard Book Number. Let's write it down. It is one of the example of check digits. Standard book numbers. Okay. Now let's consider an example of ISBN 9780340 98382-9. So here, this 9 is going to be your check digit, the last or the final digit. And this is calculated by using all the other digits in the code. There is a specific method to calculate the check digit. I'm not going into the detail of that method because that is a topic of chapter number 2. When we will be covering chapter number 2, then I will tell you in detail that by which methods we can calculate the check digits in different codes. But up till now, you just know that the check digit is being calculated by using all the other numbers or digits in the code. Okay, so let's suppose we have calculated a check digit from all of these numbers and it is 9. And let's suppose while entering in a particular system the ISBN number, the user might make any mistake. Let's suppose instead of 4, he enters 5. So what happens when the check digit will be calculated? From all of the digits that are being entered, so there will be a different value for the check digit. Why? Because there is an error or there is a mistyping in the ISBN number by the user. So according to that, the check digit will be different when we calculate it. So this is going to indicate us that there is some error in your code that you have entered. Okay, so I hope that this is quite understandable. If you don't understand it, you can comment below. I'll try my best to make you understand this. Now, these are used in different type of codes. In your barcodes, you use check digits, and there are other examples like we already saw ISBN number, and there are vehicle identification numbers, and there is the product codes, so many things. Okay, so remember that the last digit is the check digit and it is calculated from all the other digits 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 3. It is being calculated from all the other digits of the code. And if the user enters an invalid code, let's suppose instead of 5, it enters 3 by mistake. So when the check digit will be calculated, it will be different. And this check digit will indicate, since it is different from the actual check digit, that's why it indicates an error in the code. So this is something that will help you to check the validity of the code being entered by the user. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that both the format checks and the check digits are clear to you. In the next video, we will be doing the activity that is related to these validation types. And it is activity 7.7 of your book. So stay tuned, stay connected, and please do not miss those activities because that is going to clear all of your concepts related to these validation and its types. Stay tuned, stay connected. Do not forget to subscribe. Bye bye.